One of the major issues in the golf swing that I deal with a lot of my students is the transition. It's the over the top motion and or the casting action from that top of the backswing. Now in this video I'm going to be helping you kind of fix that. I'm going to be reviewing two of the most popular training aids on the market right now. However, they both help you in very different ways. One is more about self-discovery and one is more about holding you into a position so you can try to feel the correct position. Now the main transition fault in general is those players that get to the top of the backswing and the first movement is to fire from the shoulders. So if we swing that over the top, we often get disconnected in this trail side and the arms then tend to cast the golf club further away from the body, giving us that out to in swing path, or more importantly, that high, weak slice. And as I mentioned, I deal with this a lot. with a lot of my online students through the Skillers coaching app. If you would like a free swing analysis where I can help you identify your faults too, just check down in the description below and you'll get a free link to go and take a swing analysis from me personally on the app. With a lot of my lessons, when I deliver a video lesson to my students, not only do I like to explain and demonstrate the faults and the fixes and the drills, but I do like to incorporate training aids because it does allow that feel aspect. It gives you something to work towards, something to give yourself that feedback that you know you're doing it better or hopefully correct. So ultimately from the top of the backswing, we want that golf club working back down on plane, working down towards the target. We want to bring the golf club back into this delivery position here where the shaft angle points down the target line and where the weight shifts into that lead side. So from this very position, we're going to be encouraging a much more compressed strike into the golf ball. And that's something that you will struggle with if you do have that over the top action. First of all, we're going to talk about the TRS slider. This is a huge help and a lot of my online students have now gone and bought one of these so we can kind of work on it together as well through the app. And super simple to get on. Pop it around the top of your chest. I always like pop it around the top of your nipples is the easiest way to describe it. I don't know why that's a funny word. Close this over your bicep. Right, now from here, I've got to be honest, when this was first sent to me, I wasn't a fan. I've never really liked training aids that make you stay in position because I feel like it's a bit of a false feeling because you're not really doing it, you're just being held into that position. So I was not really loving this. However, I now use it in my own swing. Okay, so that shows you the full 180 that I've done with this training aid. What I love about this for me is it keeps me more connected. I have a tendency to get a little bit high and then I drop it inside. Now actually this video is about the players that cast it, so this also just shows you the multi-purpose of this training aid. Now as I get to the top, this has kept me much more connected. Now one thing that this can't do is get your body weight shifting correctly. But what it does do is when I'm instructing you to get that pressure shift into that lead side and not spin and fire from the top, it allows the golf club to work down on the correct angle, or it encourages the golf. I can actually get a little bit disconnected from it. Look, you can see I can get away. So there's kind of that half feel where it's kind of holding you in position, but you've kind of got to keep it there as well, okay? More so it's holding you, but at the same time you've got to be aware of it. So what I do love about this position, you get to the top, nice and connected. Now I want you to shift into that lead side. Look how this golf club stays in tight. This keeps my bicep in close to the right side of my rib cage. So as I'm working through, I'm in a really nice, strong position. And actually, you know what? I'm going to be demonstrating this from 170 yards with a 7-iron into wind over water. So I am going to be losing a lot of these golf balls. Unless I stay connected, shift my weight correctly, and hit it like that. Wowza, that was flushed. So I got the connection, I got the club working down on the inside a little bit more compared to maybe the players that get disconnected, but I got the pressure shift. And you'll see at the top of the swing, I'm so much more connected. And for me, that's so much more connected than I normally am. So this is a fantastic training aid for that. And you saw how simple it is to set up. Now, what I also say to players is do 5 shots with, unstrap it. And that feel there, this is what I say about holding you in position. That first practice swing does feel a little bit weird because you are wondering, well, where's it gone? Where's it gone? It does feel a little bit looser. But again, you want to try to recreate that feel, maintain that same feeling at the top. And we get into that beautiful compressed position as you come into impact again. So let's compare and contrast that to the pure swing in the slot. Now, this is a training aid that this is a training aid that makes you get into the position. And this is actually brilliant for those golfers that get disconnected and actually too connected. So that I always call this little knuckle here, okay, I call it a little knuckle. If I'm a player, and this is for me, again, I use this in the opposite way that I'm actually talking about this video. I put this more behind me, so I put it down the seam of my jumper. And what I do is I get my tricep just feeling like it's really close to it here at setup. And as I swing up to the top, the transitional move is I'm looking to get this transition where the tricep stays in front of this knuckle. So I'm going to have to go and find that position. One thing that I can feel is I can feel the top edge of the knuckle just on my tricep. So I've got a little reference point that when I'm set up, I can feel it. Top of the swing, obviously I can't feel it now, but I'm going to try and go back in and find that feel as I come back down. So it's definitely going to be easier to get the transition wrong with this training aid, but what it does do, it really helps you with the more self-discovery aspect. Now that's how I use it. How a slicer or a caster, or if you're struggling with that firing movement from the top would use it, is I'd put it more in front. So I get it a little bit more kind of just in front of the right side of my rib cage there, a bit further around, there we go. So it's almost like the biceps on it. So now when I take my setup, just move it around there. Just want the bicep just on kind of on the side of the. So I just want the bicep there on the side of the knuckle. So I can feel it on my bicep. I swing up to the top, and in that transition, if we fire early from the top, you're going to feel all sorts of awkwardness because the tricep is going to work on top of the knuckle and get stuck. So we want to feel now as the transition, the bicep stays behind this knuckle. So it's a great way of self-discovery and making sure that you're keeping the arm behind this knuckle as you're working into impact. There are so many training aids out there at the moment. It's so difficult to know what is best for you, and you can't just go and buy them all and try them all. And that's why I'm just doing this video now, because these are two of my favorite training aids. I use these with all of my online students, and I do then have to say, well, a lot of this is going to be down to you. Do you want a training aid that you go and find that slot? Do you feel like you've got good arm feel, body awareness to go and find the position? Or do you want something that you still have to find the position, but it's going to help you just stay there? It's going to tighten you up a little bit. And again, for me, I use both of these, but I do edge alongside the TRS slider, just because for me, it really helps me stay connected at the top of the backswing. But I do love the simplicity of this one, because you are able just to put it into whatever position you need to for whatever you're struggling with. So like I say, for me, I put it a little bit further behind me, just so I can keep my tricep staying connected, and I want to keep it on the transition as well as the backswing. And it's just so nice to feel that quality of strike. And by the way, I've not hit a single ball in the water here, and I thought I was going to be doing so. For even more information on these two training aids, go to my website, andycartergolf.com/pro-shop, or just andycartergolf.com. Check out the website. There are online courses on there for you to have a look at that can really help enhance your game. There's a link to my Skillis profile page on there if you want to come across for that free swing analysis, or if you just want to get straight stuck into some lessons where I can and I will improve your game for sure. Obviously the Pro Shop page there has the links to these training aids as well. If you've got any questions on these, you just drop them down in the comment section as well below, and I'll get straight back to you. thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you've seen the value in this video, please do also hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.